Has it ever occurred that you've been lied to all along? And that in fact, we still have our sovereignty. There is no TTIP. Turkey have not joined the EU. We was not inundated with Romanians and Bulgarians. We've not signed up to any EU army. We've not joined the Euro. All these Euromyths are the very reason why many of you voted to leave. I know this to be the case because I've debated with many people that supported Brexit, and there's always either one of them thrown in the argument. But they're all not true. Not one thing has materialised. None of it. None. Nothing. They're all based on Euromyths that were spread by UKIP. You see, what's really going on is that Europe are coming up with all these different agreements with each other, and Nigel Farage is getting really scared, saying, hey, if they're doing that with each other, we're going to get pulled in, we're going to be fully integrated into it. All the Euromyths are based on what Europe are doing with each other, not what we are doing with Europe. It's nothing to do with how we communicate and how we deal with business within Europe. It's like saying John and Pete over there are kissing. Does that mean we're kissing them? No, they're kissing each other. We have a different relationship with them. So we shouldn't have a second referendum, because having a second referendum would undermine democracy. That's what they argue. My view, we should definitely have a second referendum. In fact, it would actually be the third, because we had one in 1975, we had one nearly 2 years ago, and this one would settle it. Yes, it's true. The EU have become a trading bloc, they have a single currency, they've changed many aspects of who they are. The argument is because they've changed, we need a referendum. But we haven't changed who we are, we're still Great Britain. If Turkey joined the EU, if TTIP came in, if Romanians and Bulgarians inundated our land since they joined, if we implemented Schengen, if any of these things were actually true, then even I would vote Brexit. And you wonder why the Remain side is saying that we should have a second referendum. Because you have been misled. You've been misled into believing all these things, and that is the reason why you have voted out. Hence why the arguments get ripped apart every single time. Now that's not to say that the Remain camp have been completely factual on everything. You know, there are a lot of concerns regarding what will happen if we do leave the EU, but these things are valid concerns. How will our trade operate? How will it work? Most of our trade comes from within the EU, and yes, there is a trade deficit there. However, we still accumulate billions of pounds from being within the EU. If there is a trade deficit, then maybe we need to start selling more. Maybe we shouldn't have sold off all our industries, solely to become financial centre hub of the world. Before the referendum took place, even Nigel Farage said it would not be unfinished business. It would not be settled unless there was a two-third majority. We didn't have a two-third majority. And if anything, now that the facts are getting out there more, now people are starting to understand what this could really mean. The situation in Northern Ireland, how many years did it take to get that Good Friday Agreement? To begin with, UKIP and Farage's idea of us leaving was that we could be a country like Norway or like Switzerland, who have Schengen in place, are in the EEA. A lot of people thought us leaving would break up the EU. No, it's us that's going to break up, if we don't pull our socks up for the weather.